Good morning.
Good morning to you.
We are on.
Live.
We're live. Scott, thank you for getting us fired up this morning.
You bet. Glad to be here.
It's always great. These Tuesday mornings, I look forward to them so much now. And then we're having an addition this Thursday, right, Clint?
We are.
You're doing another live episode on Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday morning with Supervisor Dr. Sylvia Lee.
Okay, wonderful.
Looking forward to that.
I think we're also going to be releasing an episode that we pre-recorded with Councilwoman Roxanne Ziegler.
When's that coming out?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right in
Looking
between.
forward to
So
that.
there's going to be 3 different things that come out this week.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really exciting. It's cool. You know.
And Scott, are you doing something tomorrow?
I'm just showing up and doing whatever is needed. But I'm kind of like, because I'm utility player, I'm going to give you the weather while I got you in
Beautiful.
here.
Go for it.
You're the man.
It's going to be a high of 94 degrees. Holy moly, that's a lot for April.
Stop with that, man.
But we got you at 94. It's going to be nice and cool until about noon. And I would get out there and walk the dog now, just like Clint was saying. He was on the porch, and it was a good morning for that. Afternoon's going to be a little hot, but then it starts to cool off later in the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to drop down in the low 70s by what, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, I feel bad. My brother was going to have a pool birthday party this weekend. And it's been 90-something, and then, boom, 70. I'm like, you can't do much. Hopefully it's heated, but other than that, I was outside this morning too, but
It was beautiful. 6 o'clock.
we're draining the pool out. And Jason from Grossbusters is going to go and get rid of the gross and bust it. He's going to spray it down, acid wash it, and all that stuff. So
I saw him Sunday, invited him on the show. He's
yeah,
going to cruise by here some Thursday.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, you wrote a really cool article, and it went out yesterday afternoon regarding local restaurants and the appetite people have for some local food. And you know, it's been a hot topic for a little while. I've seen a lot of people talking about it on social media. I've heard people talking about it in person. I had some conversations with some other restaurant owners here in the area about it and kind of why it won't work and why it's just not the right time. And you really highlighted everything. But there was one thing that was really cool that you brought into that was the conversation we had about Gilbert, right? You and I and Tammy, we went up there a couple weeks ago and we spent some time doing a project, but we noticed that there were local restaurants and stuff established inside of the main part of like the main square of Gilbert. And we got to poking around and asking some people some questions. And then I went back up there again a couple weeks later and spent some time down there, went to like a local market and stuff like that, ate at a couple more restaurants. And it was pretty clear that like, hey, we should probably look into this and see what's going on here. Why can't we do this here? What's it take and all that? But we also talked to some investors as well, and they kind of gave us the rundown as why it wouldn't work right now.
It doesn't pencil out.
Yeah, explain
Darrow,
that. What do you mean by that?
Full disclosure, David came to me, Saturday and said, hey, let's dig into this.
Yeah.
And so I spent the weekend thinking about it and used 30-plus years of being an entrepreneur / small business owner and really did a deep dive into it. It's a complicated matter. There's no easy solution to this. It takes a leadership. Your leadership of your community has to buy into it. It takes a development. There's a lot of development issues, although that can be local leadership can influence that. You know, there is no like carbon copy of how development works.
Right.
You know, and Marana, I did shout out Marana in this because I do believe Marana tries to streamline it a lot more than other municipalities. I've dealt with a lot of agencies over the years. Marana does a pretty good job of streamlining it, but there's more than that. You've got to hold your developers accountable, insist on stuff, especially when you're like we are in Arizona. Everybody wants to move to Arizona, it seems like, whether it's Gilbert or I actually read last night Greenlee County is the most desired location to move in
That makes
Arizona.
sense. That's where it's a little cooler, right?
Yeah, a little cooler. Pima County was number 2, and Maricopa County was number 3, which those make sense. Like you say, Greenlee's a more open, more rural, cooler. They actually have wintertime. Pima County, the weather's perfect here. There's not as much growth here. We're 1 million, but compared to Phoenix is a zoo sometimes. I was up there last week. It's hard to get around in Phoenix. But back to what we're talking about here, you have to have a buy-in from the community as well.
Yeah.
And we talk local. We are local Marana. Everybody, it's a great buzzword, catchphrase. Mm-hmm. But yet we're all guilty, myself included, of grabbing the convenience of the corporate store on the end because they're on every corner. You know, they can whip you in, whip you out.
Yeah.
And so there's those factors. But having said all that, if we can just hold leadership accountable, mm-hmm. hold the developers accountable, and then hold ourselves as citizens accountable,
yeah,
it can be done. And Gilbert's a great example of that. We talked to developers recently, some that we really know, like, trust, respect.
Yeah.
It just doesn't pencil out from a business standpoint.
Right.
So,
and the area we're talking about in particular, too, to clarify, is the northern end of Marana, Gladden Farms, northwest area. Down here, in where we're at in that Ina Orange Grove corridor, there's plenty of activity going on for businesses to get the customers necessary to survive, if not do pretty well. Right. But up there, that's the area we're talking about. We're talking about
where
your
the
Gladden
new
Farms,
growth is, where there's new stuff, where the new buildings are. Mom and pop can't build a new business like McDonald's can. I mean, that's just not even realistic.
Yeah, you're a couple mil in before you can even open the door.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
and what you said, we're talking about restaurants, mm-hmm. and that seems to be what everybody's talking about. We need local flavor, but this extends far beyond just restaurants. To me, it's any small local business continues to add to the local flavor of
right.
And we want to be a destination, mm-hmm. as opposed to just a bedroom community that supports Tucson, or at least I do.
Right.
And I think most people in this community, especially the leadership, want to be that. Mm-hmm. They realize what they have here, and they're wanting to. But it's going to take, first off, it's going to take a plan. And we've seen some plans thrown out there and some ideas thrown around, not to disparage anyone, but that's just not going to work.
Right.
You know why?
Why?
Because we were talking about it recently with a leader, and they were rattling off all the people that were setting on these different task force, right? Mm-hmm. Not a small business owner amongst them at all. It'd be like me going to the medical school down at the university and inserting myself into their program. Right. I mean, it's you. The only way to pull this off is to get what I feel like, if we could get like a cooperative among small business owners. I mean, a legit buy-in cooperative among small business owners. That would give us leverage as small business owners.
Okay.
Because we don't have a legal department. Uh-huh. We don't have a resource department. We don't have any of those where the large corporations, that's part of their operating procedures. They've got all those people. They've got construction departments. They got building departments. They got people to handle all your codes and legal requirements. I mean, think about it. If you're opening this, I don't care what it is. You're opening a one man or one woman show in anywhere, Marana. We'll say Marana, but it could be anywhere. You know how many legal hurdles that you have to cross before you can even open your door? County, state, local, federal. Mm-hmm. Most of these people have no experience especially when they start.
Right.
To where we don't even know where to call. I know at one point there was Marana was doing a follow up on everybody's business license in the town of Marana.
Right.
And a good friend of mine, a mutual friend of ours, was doing this. And he came to me one day and he goes, Clint, I'm finding out a lot of people don't have their licenses. And I'm like, does that surprise you? And he goes, yeah, actually it does. And some of it have been in business for decades.
Wow.
There's annexations taking place. And he goes, I think some of this is our fault. And I said, it's all your fault. That means you're not engaged in your community at all. The first thing someone should do is some sort of welcome wagon committee. Hey, how can we help you? Yeah. Not that we're picking winners. I'm not suggesting that at all.
Yeah.
But if you're a business operating inside a community, mm-hmm. shouldn't the community do what they can to support you to be successful.
Yeah.
Starting with the the citizens of that community. And so it's kind of frustrating for me as a business owner. I hear local, but there's really no grassroots level to help local.
Yeah.
Other than a T-shirt and a slogan.
Right. Right.
I hope I'm not stepping on too many people's toes because that's not my intent.
Yeah.
And that was never my intent when we put together the article. It was like to create some talking points of how we could solve it.
Well, if you're not part of any of the, or you or another business owner is not part of any of these, what would you say? Would you say it was like a task force or something?
Task force,
like,
yeah.
Well, if we're not, I mean, how else are you supposed to provide any insider influence on it? So, it's not to slight anybody, just
No,
like you said. It's
absolutely
just
not.
like why, when you go up to Gilbert and Queen Creek and stuff like that, you go, why is that working here? Because it just seems like a very similar community. Now there is a denser population, which is something we're finding is a key thing.
Yeah.
But you highlighted some really cool stuff in here. These were my personal favorites after reading the article was the offer municipal incentives. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's leadership.
Yeah. Programs allowing grants, tax credits, below market rent spaces, and other incentives counteract the exorbitant costs of starting up locally. Economic development funds are a worthy investment.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead. Because here,
to
let
me,
me jump
me,
in.
that's an
Let
easy,
me-
it's
let
an
me
easy
jump
thing
in.
to look
Yeah,
into.
absolutely. Let me jump in. If this happens on a regular basis, it makes the news. If a corporation, and they provide a huge tax base, by the way, these large box stores provide a huge tax base to our community.
Yes.
But there are tax incentives, and when we're trying to attract someone to our community, there's heavy tax incentives. Mm-hmm. Well, I think we should create those same sort of incentives for small business owners because at the end of the day, and this is not restaurants, this is just straight across the board.
Right.
Roughly half, just a little less than half of all economic impact in the United States is small business. They create all the new jobs, basically. They come up with all the ideas. Corporations then reappropriate them.
Yeah.
Right, they
Yeah.
steal the good ideas, and that's just all spare and love and more. But you've got to incentivize the local businesses because that to me is the backbone of our communities. It's the backbone of our country. It's the fuel. I mean, half the people in America. There's 32 million small businesses in the United States.
Right. Right.
And not all of them are successful. Not all of them are going to be successful. But there's going to be 32. They keep growing. As a matter of fact, we've added 2 million small businesses in the last 4 years in the United States.
Wow.
COVID helped create that. And to me, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Not the COVID, but the new businesses. Here's why. We deal with it on a regular basis. You deal with it. I deal with it as individuals and business operators. If you got a problem with a major corporation, how do you solve that? You just don't. Mm-hmm. You're almost at the mercy. I won't name any names, but you're at the mercy. 14 phone calls. You're talking to people in other countries that maybe don't have full understanding of the English language, but if you have a problem with me as a small operator or you as a small operator, I know who to talk to.
Right.
I can go over to Phil's place and knock on his front door and say, "Hey, Phil, I need help here."
Yeah.
I reference Phil because he's waiting in the on deck circle over there.
The other thing you highlighted in here, which I think here in where we're at, they're doing a good job of this, and it's rallying resident support. Mm-hmm. I think with what Discover Marana is doing is they're starting to really start rally people up and people that are visiting. So I think if you can piggyback off of what they're doing and how it's starting to move, I think there's really, really, really a good chance for us to rally the support of the residents through Discover Marana.
Part of this, and again, in the article, I was complimentary of the town of Marana, the leadership, how we're doing it. I think they do a really good job. I think they could, like all of us, probably do a better job. But I think the motivation is correct. I think most people are on target with. But here's the problem. Again, back to these task force we're putting together. If you have no small business operators at the table,
There's a lot of wasted time.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I
Come
would
on.
agree
I mean,
with you on
again,
that, yeah.
I put myself in a place where I could, again, down at the nursing facility at the U of A, my sister's a great nurse.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I probably ought to set that one out. So if you're going to put together a group of 10 or 12 people, I'd say at least half of them need to be at least an operator, former operator, or is involved in small business in some capacity to bring that voice to the table.
Yeah.
And because the rest of the time you're just in an echo chamber of people that really well-intentioned, but they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So run like a 50-50 on
Hey,
that.
Clint,
Like 50.
Yeah, talk to
go
me.
ahead.
No, I got a question on that because I agree with you that you need to get more small business owners into these committees and having this influence. I think what's probably challenging for them is they're running a small business.
There you go.
And so they're
There
having
you
to
go.
do all the hustling. So really, it still leans back into your elected officials to represent those groups that can't be out there, because if you want a small business working, then they got to be working. So
Yeah.
that's probably a challenge for
Well,
them.
there
Agreed,
is. There's the problem and solution in one statement. Scott, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Is-
Well, I mean, throw back your incentive idea though into that. I know that they're crunched for time, but I mean, if you're gonna be working with operators that are and getting insight from operators that are legitimate, there's time,
Absolutely.
right? I understand. I've been through this. We're still in that midst of that real hard grind to get to that I guess you would say that point where it's in, like you always say it. Once a rocket is up in space, it only takes a baby's breath of air to just make it go really fast, right?
But you got to ride a bomb to get there.
Yeah, so you find the operators that are at that next point and potentially incentivize them, whether it be some sort of recognition for their help or whatever it may be. You know what I mean?
But Scott hit on the key.
Yeah.
The key to this, it has to be, and I think again, we talk to a lot of the local leaders on a regular basis. I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
The picture needs to be painted maybe a little clearer with more incentive for that, and there's where then the developers come in. Because somebody needs to be building these facilities, and I don't expect a developer to lose money in the process.
Right.
So we need to even more incentivize them to provide. I use the analogy in the article. I'm almost like a starter home.
Yeah.
In the real estate market. That's something everybody can kind of wrap your arms around. Most people, the first home they buy is a starter home. Lower cost, lower overhead, lower ticket price for sure. Then as you grow your family, maybe you move up a little bit, and then you come out, you cycle out at the end. What the same is true with especially small business. And the reason, again, I'm back to small business, we could just corporate everything and have big boxes everywhere, and it'd be convenient for everybody. You could go to a big box store and get all the stuff, hardware and all that. That's great, or drive through the drive-through. But there's no local, none of that stays local.
Not only that, I think the health of
There's
there's a health component of it,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, so for instance, when I bought my first house, I didn't choose, or my second house, I didn't choose Gladden Farm. As much as I loved it, we went and visited out there. We've spent a lot of time out there. It didn't have a store where there was a lot of access to healthy options.
They're going to get one sooner or later, David.
Yeah, so, but then again, you go back to
But how
these
long ago was
convenient-
that? 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, and they're
Maybe.
just
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
They're not there yet, but they're close.
Yeah, but then you also talk about, we had Gabe in here from Blacktop Grill last week, and he's created a vegan menu that's flexible, right? We talk about being nimble and stuff like that. So your smaller establishments are going to be able to do that and everything, but these bigger ones you're going to go to, there's not going to be a lot of a vegan or a dietary options because...
Hey, can we agree that most large restaurant chains are not healthy, period?
Oh, yeah. I
don't want to,
Yeah.
It's just the reality.
Yeah, and I understand that people are like, oh, well, you don't want to go there and potentially be healthy or whatever, but it's like, well, but if this is the access you have and you can constantly and consistently repeat the same action of going there, it's gonna come back to haunt it. I mean, look at us right now as a country as far as health.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions going
It's
on.
crazy.
You're like, well, what's going on? And then you look at the food and you read, like, what is, I read my food all the time now. What's in here? What's in here? Like, and, a big thing was like coffee creamer.
Yeah.
Like the standard one. You're like, whoa, man, what are all these chemicals in it? So then I was like, well, I'm switching to something else. You know what I mean? Like just things like that, you start opening your eyes to. And then if you go to the store, here's a cool example. You get Heinz, or I'll just say any ketchup, right? You get a
Heinz.
ketchup. Yeah, you get a ketchup, just the regular one. But go get the organic ketchup. Now, that doesn't mean the ketchup was grown on a tree and they just picked it off there, right? Like, but look at the difference in what's in them. The list on this one is, 10 lines long, and then the organic one's like 3.
Yeah.
But they're the same, it's still the same packaging and just says organic, but they've taken that out of there.
I was never much of a soda drinker and took great pride in it. And then I started looking, I won't again name flavors or anything. I was looking at what I was drinking and I'm like, actually, this is worse than drinking a soda based on some of the stuff that's in there. We now drink Perrier. I don't think there's anything in there. Perrier and black coffee, baby. Yeah. That's all we got. So there's nothing. But, back to, again, we focused on restaurants because there's a local, like, there's an appetite. There's a clamor for more. I mean, we all want to go to the cool new local restaurant that serves, barbecue or, the newest taco or, and we have a few, but they just have, it's almost, having been in the food service business, Tammy and I, for 19 years this year, and we're proud of that. It's just a constant grind. No, I'm making no, looking for no sympathy or anything. We choose to do it. It's great to do your own thing. But it's just a constant grind, and most of it is from external forces.
Yeah.
We're putting out fires that we didn't start. I mean, there are a lot of things. COVID obviously was out of everyone's control. Before that, we had a road closure out of everybody's control, totally necessary. We're glad that it's over, and it's been over a long time now, but that was harsh. Prior to that, we were doing a lot of stuff in the real estate market. Our business at that time was kind of geared towards the real estate market. We all know what happened in 2009. You just have to constantly recreate yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're the hamburger slingers, you just keep slinging them out, knowing that you couldn't. Right now, there's a dozen of them within a mile of us right now.
Yeah.
And if you go right now, they're going to be lined up. And I'm guilty. You'll see me driving through there on occasion because it's quick, it's easy. It's $40 for 2 people anymore to get a burger and fries.
I had to run an errand for us yesterday, and on my way downtown, I stopped at the Jack in the Box, and I was like, "That was a $15 lunch for just a number one." I mean, is that where we're at? Like,
yeah, man, it is. It is. I remember Gabe was here, and I was like, "Yeah, you go to McDonald's, you're spending $15 if you get your drink."
A person.
Yeah,
I can feed the whole family for $15 not that long ago. I'm going to say one thing about. I'll say McDonald's, that they can handle the heat. I remember when the first McDonald's came to Mount Vernon, Illinois, in about 1974. It was the first McDonald's in my hometown, and the burgers they were selling then are not the burgers they're selling now, because there was no way that they could have transitioned everybody that was eating their mama's hamburgers to that if they'd have served this. So this is a 50-year process that they have just. I don't even recognize what a McDonald's is anymore. I mean, there's a truck show up out back, and it's got just this great big thing, and they run a hose in there, and it's, here's your hamburger, here's your fries, here's your drink, here's your cardboard box. They all come out of the same tube. I mean, they can handle it. They're selling billions, but yeah. But you know what? How do you compete with that?
Yeah.
Even if the prices aren't in line, it's no longer the cheaper meal. They no longer have the dollar meal, I don't think.
Yeah.
The dollar menu. How do you compete with the convenience and the fact that, again, there's a dozen fast food restaurants within walking distance of where we are right now?
Right.
Because the little guy, for the most part, stuck in the corner somewhere back over there, because that's all mom and pop can afford. And what I guess to kind of summarize what we're talking about, what I would love to see in Marana is what they have in Gilbert. Let's just have an area of town. Corporate can be mixed in.
Yeah.
But Gilbert You can't tell corporate from mom and pop.
Yeah.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Everybody looks the same, which means we need good leadership to recognize we have a legit problem. This is a problem because the more corporate we become, the less control we have over our own local destiny. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
And every nickel that's made above the taxes and the payroll of any box store in any community doesn't stay in that community at all. Whereas the small operators like we are, all of it stays in the community. Mm-hmm. We live here, we buy houses here, we raise our children here, we educate our children here.
Yeah.
So every nickel that I've made, Tammy and I've made, every nickel that you've made since you joined this team, Scott, it stays in the community. Every penny that we make, whereas, again, the big box stores, I'm telling you, that money is just leaving the community. They might, throw some turf on a field or something, but at the end of the day.
Take us to break. Let's
go for it.
We got Coach Stu coming up next.
Coach Phillip Steward on deck.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with a tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net. We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles. Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net.
Are you looking to establish a powerful online presence for your brand? Look no further than Live the Dream Media. Our team of experts possess the capabilities and skills necessary to make it happen. From creating compelling content to analyzing data and making strategic decisions, we've got it covered. Don't let a lack of social media know-how hold you back. Visit ltdmedia.net for more information.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in Southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Coach Steward back in the studio.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. I'm going to just start off by saying that that schedule coming up is pretty stacked, man.
Like
this is the updated one on the website?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back just a little bit.
All right.
Except for one of the games got changed. We had 4 home games, now we have 5.
Which game got changed?
The Mountain View game. It's not at Mountain View, it'll be at Marana.
Oh, that's good because last year it was there.
Yeah, so they just switched it back over. That's the only one that changed.
Yeah.
And then I think that this year we're going to make it, this the Battle of the Boot, and we're going to make it our homecoming.
Oh,
so it's gonna be big time. Yeah,
that's going to be
big
crazy.
time. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be exciting.
You're trying to start the rivalry even harder, huh?
Yeah.
You know back in the day they used to play each other. And then
I heard it was crazy. I didn't hear stories from
some
all different
violence occurred, and they were like, the district's like, yeah, we're done with that.
Yeah. But I'm glad we're able to bring it back. You know, it's exciting for the community. It brings a lot of people out, whether we have it at Marana or Mountain View. So what I've seen the last few years, it's been a good time every game. Whether it's, like I said, at Mountain View or Marana, people come out just to see it.
Yeah.
And, you know, some people was a part of it. They played.
Yeah.
And some people just been a fan of it since it's been going on. So it's been good to see it every year. So I'm glad we're able to get it back.
Yeah.
Home this year.
Yeah, how you feel about this offseason?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually.
Yeah?
We start spring ball Monday.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. We got a lot of young guys that I've seen grown this offseason, you know what I'm saying? So with running track and doing the different sports, it's it's excited to see them get out there. So I can't wait to see them get out on the grass.
Yeah, you got something, Clint?
I was just glad to have Coach Steward back in the room here. It's been a while.
Yeah. Last thing we talked about was the college football playoffs. We had you in here talking about that, and then we were talking about the NIL deals and
Still's crazy.
Is it still so? Like, are like the players, do they talk about that kind of stuff now? Is it like I'm going to get in there and I'm going to make some money, or like where's the focus on the education? I guess I would say. Are you guys working hard at that?
Some of them are, and now the NIL is starting to come to the high school level.
No,
it's coming. Like I think it's coming this year actually. So it's like it's coming. So it's like it's gonna be part of the game. You know what I'm saying? And as coaches, you got to just continue to adjust with it. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, you'll get left behind. Or if you got these 3 schools doing it and your school's not a part of it, it's like, well, the kid's gonna want to go there.
Yeah.
So you got to just keep adjusting. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what the colleges are doing. You just have to adjust with it because it's here to stay. It's not going nowhere.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, it's here to stay. So
I'm gonna throw my hands up right now. I kind of was supportive of this in the beginning because I thought, these especially colleges are making a lot of money. These young men and women they're talented to bring. I'd kind of like to revisit that because it doesn't seem to be that's not what I had pictured in my mind. What I'm seeing now, I didn't realize that we were going to open the floodgates. So
definitely, I think it needs some structure to it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I think it's good for the kids to be able to to market themselves and make the money. But I think it needs some structure to it, and I think if we get some structure to it, it should be able to run smoothly because, like the NFL, they have all that system in place, so it runs right. I think colleges has to get a system that runs well for them, that works for them, and I think it should work out for everybody. But right now, I think it's just chaos.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem though with that.
Oh, we're going in now.
Well, here's the problem with that. What you just said, and I didn't think about it until you said the NFL has this. But here's the thing. 80% of all professional athletes are broke 7 years after they retire. So they're actually not doing a good job. And now we've even increased the problem by starting with 17, 18-year-olds that many are coming from situations where they have no financial structure to begin with. And you're throwing a boatload of money at an 18-year-old.
I get what you're saying.
You get where I'm coming from?
But I feel like, so now that they're in school, that's why I say if there's a system in place, learn how to manage that money.
Amen.
And do all those things
financial
like
literacy,
for
sure.
All that while you're in school. Because in the NFL, you can pay a financial advisor. You can pay all those people to kind of manage your money for you. So in college,
hey, we got to start before they get to college, though, Coach. We got to start
since now that it's coming to
we got to start in the 5th grade of how to. Well, we're going to go off someplace else.
I want to stay in this a little bit longer. Sorry, Coach, because technically I don't know how long you're able to stay here, but we blocked you out for 2 hours if you wanted it to. So the next through the next
2 hours,
or sorry, an hour,
till 2
sessions.
I'm here all day.
Tomorrow.
Y'all got me.
Yeah. You're talking about it coming to high school sports. Where I'm trying to think of even how to ask this. I'm so sorry. So where does the school and the district draw the line, right? Yeah. Where's the money going to go? Just to the players?
Gotta have rules. That's what I'm saying.
Right now that doesn't. Man, you gotta. We're gonna have to pull Dan Streeter in here.
Yeah.
So
see, I didn't even know this was
doing it.
So California's already doing it.
California already has it. Some of the high school players are able to get NIL. I think it's coming to Arizona.
What kind of money are we talking about with these high schoolers?
So I think it's a lot of rules in place. You know what I'm saying? So I think if I'm a kid that's getting an NIL deal, I can't mention Marana.
Right.
I can't have Marana gear.
Right.
On. I think something like that in colleges too, where they can't even mention their university.
Yeah.
It's just that guy goes to that university, so it's kind of tied to, but he can't have like the gear on. Yeah. Because there's a lot of violations to it too. So it's very, very like. I think they're trying to bring some structure to it to the high school, but like I said, I think it needs to be some people need to sit down and kind of really go over it and make sure that the kid won't lose his eligibility because that's part of it. If he does mention the high school or anything, he can use his year of eligibility plan. So it's it's a lot into it. So
boy, and that's a lot of responsibility again to put on those children.
Can you remember how we were?
16, 17.
I wasn't even thinking about like I wasn't thinking about getting paid. I play for fun.
Yeah.
I love playing this game, and when they said they'll pay me to play, I'll definitely do that because I play all these years I've had played for free. Oh, I'm definitely going.
Here's where I get scared with this. Okay, and I'm gonna admit that I'm scared on this because I did a little coaching, and there were parents just in that environment, right? Just in that competitive environment that felt their student athlete should be getting more attention, more possessions, more chances to score.
Stop it.
Right.
Couldn't
now,
be.
Now we're gonna be unleashing this beast because these parents of these players are gonna go, Daddy's getting a new boat, right? Like, I hate to say it, but and stuff like that, and it's gonna come down to the game. Right, and like in possessions and stuff. So like, I look at you, Coach, and I'm like,
it takes away from the game. Yeah.
Hey, if you need to talk to somebody, just give me a call. I know it's gonna be crazy, but it's you and all the other coaches. So it's crazy. I did not know that you were gonna walk in here today and tell us that it was coming into high school. I'm totally oblivious.
Yeah, it's coming, and if you're not ready to adjust with it, you're gonna get left behind. And I can say that even with I think girls flag football, it's becoming a big thing. And I just think you got to get on it because if not, I think our school last year, we started it. Mountain View has it. And then we was the only schools down here in Southern Arizona that had it. And it's like now it's blowing up. And it's like, whoa, I think we need it. Other schools are starting to, we need it. And it's like, it's becoming a thing.
Well, I love the concept, but why does everything have to be centered around money? I know it is.
It's the root of all evil.
The root of all evil. No, let's get it straight. The love of money is the root of all evil. Let's make sure we got that straight.
I like that. Yeah.
The genie's out of the bottle, though, Coach. Okay, so we're not putting that sucker back in for a while until Yeah, I'm going to put myself down as I was wrong to think that way.
It's coming, man. I just think if we can get a handle of it, like teaching the kids how to to manage their money, teaching them how to use the social media and stuff like that, I think it can be a good thing because everybody's not going to make it to the NFL.
That's right.
You can start your business. You'll be financially stable to do a lot of different things.
Right.
That when I played, you didn't have that money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just remember playing, and I had a friend. He had a little son, and he couldn't go to certain schools because it was like, I need help watching my son. I got school and stuff like that. So it made him choose certain schools that stayed local. He ended up coming to University of Houston because his mom was able to help him, like when he had stuff like that. Yeah. But I feel like if he had the money, the NIL, I can have if he had the mother up there with him to help take care of the baby, or he had to pay for babysitters and stuff like that, he would have the money. Because when you're in college, you just didn't have the funds. And I can't go work because I have practice school. So I'm like, it helps if we had the right thing. We had a system in place. I think it can help, but got to get a system in place.
Yeah, I have.
I think it's just coming too fast right now.
Back with these, especially the huge universities that are billion-dollar industries, and kids are getting educations for the most part. They graduate. I don't know what the percentages are across the board, but they're pretty good. So I don't have a problem with kids being compensated because they're earning these organizations millions, if not billions of dollars. So, but it just seems the inequity of a lot of it. Like we mentioned before, the star athlete's going to get a million. It's probably way more than that.
Driving a BMW to school,
and his line. In the case of football players, they're all getting a couple of bucks and they're driving a couple of beaters.
Maybe. I don't think that they're even going to get anything. I think it's just going to be your star, your studs.
Well,
right?
in time, they'll be everybody will get a little bit of something.
I think it depends on how you promote yourself. So, like your quarterback, he's making a lot of the plays, so he's probably going to get the bulk of the money. But I'm the left tackle. I protect for him. For him to be able to do that. So I feel like I should get a fair share.
Well, maybe he'll gift him a Rolex or something.
They'll start writing their own contracts.
You have some players that'll do that.
You get 35 blocks a game, okay?
If you don't give up a sack, dude. dinner's on me.
Hey, and
No,
you know,
and we
you know-
say all this in fun. We're just messing with this.
Well, and you
but-
know this starts early. I'm not going to call. Well, I'm not going to call him out. A good buddy of mine, I was with him last week. He's got a 2-year-old grandson, just turned 2, by the way. Already talking about how smooth the swing is. The steps are right. He's
Gotta
got
start
it.
him early.
And you know what?
NIL.
Yeah, and I actually said something to him. I'm like, you get him in one of them preschools that offers NIL, and let's make some money, dude. This starts early.
Yeah.
Basically in the cradle with a lot of people.
Yes.
I understand that. And I understand the money part of it. But it's still, I don't want to go off, but it just seems to me like
But
there's-
but NIL can also be something even like so small. Like, so say if I have a company and then you come, you take a picture. So say if I'm selling like couches and you come take a picture next to a couch, I give you $50 to post it on your social media. That's basically NIL right there.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm saying, so it
Yeah.
can either be something that small that's considered NIL.
Yeah.
But like if you as this player, you can't have anything that's representing your school that you're
Right.
at, because that can now hurt you at your school. Now you ineligible to play. But I am giving you $50 for posters every so many weeks. So you're making these $50 every so many weeks in high school, but I can't even play my senior year.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I say if we have the rules and structure in place, it could be beneficial for the kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
Yeah.
they need all that money.
Yeah.
'Cause I ask the kids all the time, they want to go work. I'm like, what do you need to buy?
Yeah.
Oh, Coach, I just want to have the money in my pocket.
Well, you know, hey,
wanna walk
and
around
you know
with it,
what?
man.
There are some children, and I'm sure you deal with it, that maybe they're less fortunate than some of their other, peers and classmates, and to balance that out a little bit,
It'll
or
help,
kids that are hungry, or maybe don't have the wardrobe that would, I have no problem.
I
We
think
all
it's
worked.
beneficial.
We all
I
had
think
a
it
job
helped,
when
yeah.
we were kids, so we worked. Well, if you're over there and you're on the basketball program, the football program, and you're good, I have no problem compensating that kid. Maybe he doesn't have to work a part-time job now, or she, to compensate to maybe get some of the basics in life. So I don't. I'm not painting money as a bad thing at all. As a matter of fact, it's a good thing. It's just, it seems to me like if we're going to start paying high school athletes to play sports, then maybe we ought to pay the kid that's a chemist or a mathematician or somebody that's going to actually provide jobs someday. Maybe we ought to compensate them too. Wait a minute.
I wonder
Stop
if that's a
it.
thing, though. I wonder if that's a thing. What if they can get?
Yeah, maybe we
compensated?
just don't know. Maybe we just don't know.
maybe,
Just
I
they
don't
bring him in on some projects or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for a few interns.
Yeah, I got a question, guys.
Yeah, go
Talk
ahead,
to us, Scott.
So, especially from a coaching standpoint, I felt like I noticed this with U of A hoops this year is because the NIL deals and the individual is starting to become bigger than the team. It's got to be hard to coach a team mentality when people seem more focused on how they're growing their Instagram presence and what they're doing in Vegas, as an example, rather than actually preparing to win the Vegas basketball tournament. And if that's happening in college, and now you got high school kids, I'd imagine from a coaching standpoint, that's you want to still have control over turning these kids into good young adults and teaching the values of that sports has always taught. So how do you
Great
intend
question.
on maintaining that balance? Because that would be challenging.
I think it would be challenging, but I always look at it how you approach the situation. You know what I'm saying? So if I understand that it's coming, and I keep saying you have to be able to be ready to adjust, and I know it's coming. So I'm gonna have a system in place. Like, look, that's okay for you to be able to promote your brand, but this is how we're gonna do it, and this is gonna always be the standard. And if that's not something you want to do, maybe this is not the school for you, because you have to teach the team concept of it. You have to teach them how to be places on time and how to separate. Hey, that's off the field. You can do that on your time, but during my time, we have to be at practice on time. We have to, utilize the entire team. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you approach it. But if you just in there saying, no, we're not doing it, you can't be a part of it, now you're going to lose the players. And I don't feel like you should be able to do that to him, because like Clint was just saying, some of those kids, it'll help them get out of financial burden that they're at home. So it does help. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you approach it. And I throw my approach, I'm like, it's coming. I played the sport. I understand how beneficial it can be. I don't want to take that from somebody. Like, this could be life-changing for you. And I don't want to be that guy that takes that from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have rules in place like, hey, you are able to do that.
Right.
But these are the rules you got to follow, or you can lose your ineligibility. you can't miss practice for that because now I can't play you because that's one of our rules.
Right.
So I'm saying, so you got to just have like rules in effect, and you got to just, like I said, you got to be ready for it. But just denying it all across the board, I think that's hard. And I think by having those rules in place, I don't think you get to the part where the guy's getting bigger than the team. Like, he understands, like, I am a part of that team. And
Right.
what I do off the field, that's for me. But when I'm with the team, it's all about the team. And we're going to celebrate, we're going to win, and we're going to do things as a team. And I think it should work out for everybody.
Yeah.
But you do have those ones that's like, nah, coach, I have to be there at a time. And I'm like, these are the rules, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you can't put the team, I can't put the team over you. I'm going to put the team over you every time.
Yeah.
Because I got to always think about the team and the rest of the guys, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's bigger than the team. That's how I always look at it. You're not bigger than the team. The team is why we here, you know what I'm saying? So I just think we got some, I just think I'm ready for it because I've been reading up on it, like just thinking about what certain colleges are doing, because each college works the NIL differently. Mm-hmm. It works for some, it doesn't work for some, you know what I'm saying? You hear the stories coming like out of U of A, how some people are getting bigger, but then you don't hear that from like certain other schools. Like, it's not a problem with us because we're learning how to deal with it, you know what I'm saying? And then talking with some of the scouts come in, the way they're using NIL. You know what I'm saying? We have class. You have to show up to so many classes a week. You have to take this class, like a social media class. They have like things in place for you to be able to do the NIL. And I was like, dang, that works. He said it works for us. It might not work for another school, but it works for us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, just having a system in place that works for everybody, I still think you can get some good football and some good stuff out of the kids.
You have talked me off a ledge, for sure. It's nice to hear your approach to it.
It's because I played and I get it. Like, I wish they was paying me a lot of that money. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I played the game for free. So, yeah, the money would have helped, but I love the game. You know what I'm saying? And our coaches always made sure that we stayed focused on the game. You know, and that's why we was out there. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I'm sure you'll agree on this. The life lessons the game teaches you, I think, is you can't even put a value on that. It's just so. You can't put a number on it. It's just so valuable.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
It teaches you determination, and I mean, those games where everything just feels like it's going wrong.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Balls just flying out of everybody's hands.
Like,
it's
what's
just
going on with y'all today?
Yeah, those games, right? I know people go, man, those games are frustrating and everything, but those are the games where you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about the team. You learn about the people that are next to you, because that's where your identity is found. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, is those games. Sometimes you come back and you win them, and sometimes you don't.
Yep.
Which is okay too to lose, because you learn way more from losing than you'll ever learn.
Amen.
You'll ever learn from winning.
So last year, it kind of was in that situation. You know, we started off. I think we lost our first 3 or 4 games, you know what I'm saying? And you can start seeing those older guys like, oh, man, my senior year, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of them wanted to quit, you know what I'm saying? We ended up having a few of them quit, but a lot of them stayed together, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, man, we've been doing this for three years. This is our 4th year doing this. And some of them stayed, and the season ended up turning around, you know what I'm saying? Because they stayed committed to it and stuff like that. Think if I had $1 million NIL deal, you think I'll stay committed?
Yeah.
Man, we losing. I might as well just go keep making money. But I'm like, it's not about that. You can't, like you say, you can't put a value on that, the relationships, the bonds you're creating and stuff like that. So, like I said, if we have a good system in place, I think it'll work for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then just keeping them level-headed.
You know, kind of back to what Scott referenced a couple of minutes ago, and I think we're all old school when it comes to this. It's about the team.
Yeah.
Team's always first. If I can get mine, especially on the social media stuff and on the side, knock yourself out. I don't care if you're 12 or as long as the parents are right. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest problem I see with the whole thing is now you've got the haves and the have-nots in the same group. You have it across life, but to start that process in high school, because you already have the have and nots to begin with. Some have talent, some don't, or some have more. Some have maybe a more influential background, and some don't. So they're already there. To now insert money into that, if somehow, in my Pollyanna old school way of looking, if we could take all that money and just like divide it up kind of equally amongst the team, because we're all playing for the same common goal. We want to win a state championship in the case high school.
Yeah.
So and you know what? I think you're addressing that. And knowing you as a human being, you keep going back to the system.
Teach them taxes
This is how
right
the
away.
system works.
Tax it on the team, man. I mean, hey, we got to distribute it in different shapes and ways to do this.
Here in my head, here's how I'd love to run a high school or any school. So we're going to take, and it's we're all basing this all on athletes, okay? And you've got your athletes that perform on the field. Then we got our medical staff. We're training people to be, sports doctors, for the lack of a better word. We got the accounting people taking care of the money. We got our video crew we're a team. We're all working together. There's 100 kids in this age group, and they're all supporting the athletic program, right? And we're teaching math using all the formulas and the yards per carry and all this stuff, right? That's how I want to see, and I think that's kind of the program you're building, right? Because I see a lot of your live stuff comes, I think, from student athletes or students at your school. I don't get to a lot of games, but I'll get to more this year. But I watch them on Friday night, and I think that some of your athletes are doing, or your students, right?
A lot of the student athletes, some of the student body, they're interviewing the kids.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
I love that.
Just learning about that stuff in the media space, because the media space it's growing at a rapid pace. So being able to learn at an early age, I think it's good for some. Being able to speak, articulate your thoughts, and being able to ask kids questions. Because I know a lot of my kids are like, "Oh, coach, I don't want to do that. I don't want to speak to them." I'm like, dude, just breathe.
Yeah.
Like I said, it ain't too many questions they can
Fear's
ask
a liar.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna ask you about the game, how you played. I said, think about the questions that they might ask you. You know what I'm saying? And just think, how did you play? Tell me how you played. Like, I played good. Yeah, now elaborate a little bit on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said,
how'd that feel while you were doing that?
Yeah, like, hey, you caught the game-winning touchdown. How did that feel?
Yeah.
Like, you knew your feeling that you got. So I try to. So when we do it, I always try to make sure, like, hey, calm down, breathe. You know what I'm saying? When they ask you questions, think about it before you just blurt out something. So I try to teach them before they just go in there and just give out some crazy answers. Or most of them will tell me, Coach, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So it's good to see them doing it. You got to learn it, because you got to be able to speak well, speak to people. And I'm like me, I tell them I'm still learning, because I didn't mind speaking in front of people, but I do it all the time now. And I'm a people's person, so I like talking to people, so it's all good. So it's kind of hard to see a kid that I don't want to speak to, and I'm like, why not? Just tell them how you feel. They'll love you.
Yeah.
So I love it. Oh man!
Wow, I didn't know we were going to go this. I'm glad we did. This was.
You still on the ledge over there?
No, I'm good. I'm good. So you know what? I just want the best for the kids.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day,
and
if a kid excels at something, he or she, and they're great, they should be. I have no problem compensating them.
So if it was me doing it, I think everybody should get like a base salary, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And if you go out and like your parents, like say we're in high school, all the kids are getting a base salary. It could be $10 a week, whatever it is. We all getting the $10 a week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you and your parents go out and kind of promote you a little bit more, that's for you. That should be fine. It shouldn't bother nobody. But my thing is, when you come back to the team, it's still all about us now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, if we had a system in place, like, hey, coach, he needs me there on Tuesdays and Wednesdays to film a commercial. Well, I need you at practice. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you need to conversate with them, like saying, hey, I have to be at practice, between these times. Is there another time? Because it's still about the team. And I need you there for us to practice so we can win on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? When you start putting the other stuff in front of the team, that's where you start to lose.
See, that's where we're old school again. We believe in team with no I. Yeah. And that's the biggest problem I see with this is now you got team with a big I in the middle of it, and that's...
But I think that should be like that in college. If you gave all of them a base salary, we all y'all got an NIL. This is what all y'all making. Yeah. And he went out there, he had a great game, and EG's wanted to sponsor him. Yeah. That's for him. That's a good job.
Absolutely.
He had a good game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that I shouldn't tell you, no, you can't do that because the other team's not getting it. That's not fair.
Well, and if you weren't an athlete, let's just say you're a typical college student and EG's wanted you to sponsor, would we feel bad about it?
No. So I'm saying, like,
well, yay, way to go, dude.
Like, I get EG's free on Wednesday. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like that.
Is the base thing you're talking about? That's just every school, right? Like,
like
that's
everybody
just
just
the standard. Because that's one thing that I think about too is like you have your programs that are consistently in good numbers and good, right? Mm-hmm. And if the NIL comes into that, like, are we creating a baseline where it's the same for every school, like at the starting point, and then everything else that comes in has to be done by, just by notoriety of the players and the athletes at that point, right? Like, because if that doesn't exist, how are schools in Southern Arizona supposed to keep up, right?
Gotta think, yeah.
Yeah. So like, if there isn't like a standardized base
pay for everybody,
then
you know what's going to happen?
problems.
The schools that are already like D- schools, they're done.
Yeah,
and you know what?
All the kids gonna leave.
Exactly. And that back to what kind of we're talking about local business. That's we lose that, you've lost it all. Now, where are the kids going to go to school? Now, all of them going to have to
travel
drive 30 minutes or catch a bus. I mean, we got to stop. I mean, that's where
the
problem is right there. That's a bigger problem than just.
So
I know there's
back on the ledge.
Now there's a bunch of really old school guys, and all they're talking about is, well, isn't an education enough? Well, and that's a valid question.
Hey, they can pay for education beyond high school with some of the NIL stuff, even if they don't want to play, right? They save their money.
I'm with you 100%.
But again,
some of these schools are expensive. Like I was speaking with a few of my seniors.
Talk.
And they're getting into school and it's like, Coach, the dorm rooms, like, I got to get a job.
Dude,
I was like,
there are high schools in this community right now, private schools in this community cost $30,000 a year to go to school. Not high school and grade school. $30,000. Yeah. Of course, if your kid can't read or write, do math, $30,000 is kind of a bargain if they can learn some of those skills, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But
yeah. Hey, let's go to break, and then we'll come back and we'll jump into the season and we'll talk some hometown football,
some Marana football.
Yes, sir.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net. We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles. Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, CopperCreekCookies.net.
Are you looking to establish a powerful online presence for your brand? Look no further than Live the Dream Media. Our team of experts possess the capabilities and skills necessary to make it happen. From creating compelling content to analyzing data and making strategic decisions, we've got it covered. Don't let a lack of social media know-how hold you back. Visit ltdmedia.net for more information.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in Southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Hey, man, where you get that from?
Yeah.
The school, or they always think it's LSU. I get that a lot, too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then when they ask me, it's like, is that LSU? No, I get to explaining them. And they was like, oh, man, how you know about it? I was like, oh, I coached there. And they were like, dang, that's pretty good. So I try to talk to them about Marana a little bit. So it's
always
cool.
repping.
I always get it.
We try to do that all the time too.
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to represent. You got to have pride.
Yeah.
In what you do, man.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have hats, by the way? Are we out of hats?
We are out of hats, but I'm gonna order another batch.
I need a new batch.
But I got a lapel pin coming for you. Got a lapel pin, yeah. So we're gonna start getting some more swag in here.
Hey,
lanyards.
Trust me.
What you got, Scott? Are you jumping back in here, big guy?
You
Look like you're ready.
Got a collar or what? What's up?
No, the first thing I'd like to write a grievance and we need some more sponsors because these ad breaks are not long enough for my bladder. I'm really having to hustle in these types of working conditions.
Okay.
You know,
So here we go.
gonna have
Scott
to-
needs some help, guys.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's get some more advertisers
Get the
in here.
checkbooks out.
I need longer ad breaks.
Hey, you know what? Maybe you could get the video production students to put together like a hype video for you guys for us to throw on this.
So that's what I'm trying to do, but who do I go to for that? I don't think we do the video. We do a lot of the pictures, you know, the media, but I can ask them that. That'd be something I'll ask, something that
Yeah, you should see. So back when I was the SRO there, they had a video production.
I don't think we have it no more, though. I remember somebody said that. Yeah, so I'm
We
going to go
gotta
ask
get- they gotta get that going.
Hey, you know what? Just do it simple. Get a couple of kids that got good cameras.
Yeah, a phone. I mean, these shoot 4K.
I mean, you're good phones.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, okay, you.
I'm
you-
always taking pictures.
Then shoot some video.
I bought my own personal Canon camera because I take
Shoot
pictures.
some video
The
though.
kids love it.
Stills
Yeah.
will work, but shoot some video. We'll incorporate. We'll help you put it together.
I don't want to do. I'll be. People come. Hey, you think I can come and record some of y'all lifting weights? Please.
Yeah.
Please come. So I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying?
Get the kids to do
it
it
keeps
though.
me
Yeah.
from doing it.
Get the kids. There's somebody's got a good camera. Use your camera. Shoot a couple pieces of video. The weight room would be great. Some back
How would you
stuff.
cut it up though? That's
We'll
hard
cut
part.
it up. That's see, we're going to do that for you.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm
Just
Send it
the
over.
hype video
It's
to
a good
put on
partnership
here.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the kids always ask me about a hype video. I'm like, if anybody asks me,
Yeah.
I'll tell them to come and do it. But
Yeah.
I don't mind.
I would try to get somebody in the school, like David says.
In
Maybe
the school,
maybe this is.
I'm asking them first. I'm gonna see it.
Who's going to do your games this year? That follows with the camera up and down. Get that person to do it.
It's Coach Roebuck. He's always there on the sideline.
Get him to do
He
it.
runs up, but he live streams it.
But
for
yeah, he's got to
everybody.
focus on the
He has to
live.
focus.
Yeah.
No, but I mean though, in workouts and in the gym and stuff. Get him to shoot 2 or 3 minutes
videos.
worth of video. We can make something out of that.
I'll do it. How about that?
And then you come in, go
throw it
for
on your tasks.
but sometimes they use my phone to play music. I'm like, I'm just pulled every which way, man.
And then
Yeah.
we'll get you in. We'll do a little voiceover, and or the kids, somebody can record their voice. Yeah,
That'd be good, right?
Can we
Some
get
music
30
to it?
seconds out of you in the next couple of weeks?
When do you guys get to wear pads and stuff?
So we
before
don't
the season?
get back in pads until August.
Until
so we'll
August.
have like 3 weeks where we'll practice with helmets. We'll go so many days. Then we'll put on shoulder pads. We'll go so many days, and then full.
You guys got to have like
So we'll go live
Older.
3 or 4 weeks before our first game. So we'll be in pads.
okay
But we don't get pads until almost to the first day of school.
first day of school.
Yeah, we don't get no pads till
And that's 1st of August.
August
roughly.
5th. Yeah.
You don't have like old footage from like last season or photos that you could shoot us?
Maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah, shoot 'em.
Yeah.
Plenty of pictures. and
Good,
videos.
good.
I think so. Yeah. And
Okay,
then when
because we
go
can
to
just use
camp-
stills.
When we go up to camp, I record. I try to record.
Yeah.
different
Hey, but
things
if you
that
got a
we-
little bit of video, throw it in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
we'll figure it
I'll
out.
see.
We'll figure
go,
something
go,
out.
Go back to the archives. You've got.
All right, let's
some
let's
stuff.
talk
plenty.
let's
I got
talk this
plenty.
upcoming season. Okay, you guys still were region champs last year,
Mm-hmm.
even after the slow start.
Yeah, we did, and a lot of that goes credit to the coaches, man, and the players, like the grit, the grind. Yeah, it wasn't looking good for us, but we stayed at it. We still went out there and practiced. Still had parents saying, "Why are you practicing so late? Y'all ain't losing." You know, practice make perfect, and we was trying to figure it out, and I think we ended up getting it figured out, and we was able to go win us 5 games in a row. You know what I'm saying? Losing in the first round, but we was able to put it all together, and that helps me build into the offseason. Now we know what we need to fix. You know, I think one of the biggest things we lacked was leadership, and that's all I've been talking about them this offseason. We got to find the leadership. I'm coming up with different ways. You know, me and the coaching staff to find out how can we get more leaders on the team, because if we just out there yelling and screaming at them, that it does nothing for them. We need them to start talking to each other within, and I think that's what helped us towards the end of the season. Some of those seniors, some of those juniors, now that's going to be seniors this year,
Right.
kind of start stepping up to the plate like, well, I'll lead it since none of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think if we can get more of those guys to step up at the different positions, I think it'll help us as a whole, you know what I'm saying? So I meet with my seniors this Friday, you know, the upcoming seniors, to kind of tell them, hey, what you trying to do with this season? I usually meet with them every year around this time before we go on to spring ball to kind of see what direction do they want to go with the season. I remember my first year here, that group of seniors said, man, Coach, to be honest, we just want to be Mountain View. After that game, we were done. They didn't want to play the rest of that season. I remember I was like, that city's like, if we win that, we're good. And we played them the first game. So I was like, what about the other 9 games? Like, what? And we end up going undefeated. I don't think we lost our first game until like midway through the season.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was like 6-0, and we end up
Yeah.
being, I think we went 6-1. We ended up losing to a team from Phoenix. And that was our first loss. And I was like, y'all playing pretty good for only just want to beat one team. So it worked for us. I think we ended up finishing the season 7-3 that year. But
nice.
I just remember talking to the seniors. And I said, how do y'all want this season to go? Because it's only going to go the way y'all want it to go. You know what I'm saying? It's going to start with y'all showing up to the summer workouts because those younger guys are going to look to y'all to what to do. You know what I'm saying? Those incoming freshmen, when they come in, they're only going to see what y'all showing them. You know what I'm saying? So they showed up every day to the summer workouts. We go twice a day. They showed up every day. The season got here. They took care of their bodies. We lift weights in the class. So they did everything the right way, and it showed on the field. So I'm excited, man.
How many seniors you got coming back?
This is gonna be my senior class. I had them when they was babies, when they first came in. I was their first high school coach. So this season gonna be real good because I think we've been building them up to this point. You know what I'm saying? So, they came in, all they know is work. You know what I'm saying? They know we work out every day in the summer. They know how the coaches are, about being late, being on time and stuff. They already know that's been in their system the last,
this is their
3 years.
So
I think this is their year. They're going to put it all together and get to the big dance. And that's what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get to the state championship. So I got a big class coming back. I'm going to have a lot. This is going to be my first class where I have a lot of seniors. My last class, because I came in the second semester, like the springtime, like around this time when I got hired. So this senior class, I had them when they was transitioning to their sophomore year. But a lot of the kids had already kind of quit. Some of them kind of came back, but a lot of them had quit. So this senior class was pretty big because they stayed. They liked what we was doing.
That's good.
So I think I have... How many? I think I had 25.
Wow.
I had 25, because I like to order the kids stools for when they graduate that says like Tiger Pride and Marana football. Yeah. And I just ordered the other day and it was 25. So
that's
I got
beautiful.
25 seniors.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But this class is supposed to be bigger. So, and then my incoming freshman had a big class. I think 55 of them came in. So the classes are getting bigger. So we are growing. So that tells me we are doing the right thing around here.
So does that mean you got maybe 75, probably
about
175
I
kids
think
in
last
the program?
I think we had like 160, give or take, 160.
Yeah. But it's going to go up just a little bit.
So and I think each year it's been growing because the one thing I think is happening and being able to do this is getting the word out there of what we're doing over there. And it's making a lot of those kids in the area, I want to go to Marana. It's no point in me driving 40 minutes across town to go wait over there. When I can go right here, it's a good school, good education, good football program. It has a lot of good things that we're offering, but I just think a lot of those kids and parents just didn't know about it. Yeah. So being able to do this to get the word out, like what we're selling and what we're doing over there, I think it's making a lot more kids want to come. So when my freshman class is that big coming in, that tells me, dang, they all stay together. Yeah. I believe that's how it works. If you keep those kids together.
It does work that way.
And I tell people all the time, I seen it at CDO, even though I wasn't here when they was little, a lot of the parents, they've been playing with each other since they was little, and they all stay together. Because I think they had a big senior class this year. They won state. As I said, because they've been playing with each other the last 10 years. They know each other. You know what I'm saying? And my senior, when I was in high school, it happened that same. We had been together so long. I think the first year we was together on varsity was our junior year. We went to the second or third round. Our senior year, we went all the way to the state championship. We ended up losing, but it's because we stayed together. We knew each other. We knew
been
what
playing
tipped them off. We
since
knew how to
third
get
grade.
them going. We knew how to get him going. The same way you get him going can't get you going. It's like we all knew those different things about each other, and it ended up working.
And,
you know what I'm
and doesn't that help with the? You mentioned how important it was to have team leaders. Doesn't that help? Because if you've been playing together for a while, the leaders have already kind of separated themselves out of the pack, and knowing the personalities, how to get David fired up, or what you got to do to get Phil on the right page. So I think that longevity pays big dividends going forward.
I think that's where if you notice a lot of the state championship teams, it's in the roots. It's not they just came together and were like, because I'm not going to say the school, but I know there's a school here in Tucson that gets into the far rounds of the playoffs and stuff, but they're not winning the states recently. And and I see it as because you're having disconnected groups together. Where you have the talent is immense, right? There's no doubt about it.
You're gonna win games. You got the talent.
But the leadership thing, because even I've seen teams, the leader isn't necessarily the best player.
It ain't got to be the best.
It ain't got to be. It's just somebody that the team knows. When things are down, they can look to them, how do you feel about it? What do you think? And they can motivate them. Right. You have your catalysts, which are the ones that you they're going to make an insane play, but they don't. That doesn't mean necessarily they're the leader.
Yeah. Oh right? No, definitely. And I went to a couple of coaches clinics and just hearing a lot of coaches say that, like, it does not have to be your leader. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You might have a guy that just, he's just good with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not the best player, he's not afraid to speak out against them. And the kids know, man, he always got to say something. And I used to always tell him, he's holding you accountable. You want to be good at this sport. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember my first year, actually, it happened. A kid by the name of Daniel Parrish, he was that guy. Track was his sport. You know what I'm saying? Track was his sport. But in football, he was that unspoken. He always spoke out about, hey, man, coach said we need to do this twice. You only did it once. He'll speak out about it. He didn't mind doing that. You know what I'm saying? And the kids kind of gave him that side eye, but they respected because he's always done it. It wasn't this, he always been doing it all the years. So they kind of respected that from him. You know what I'm saying? And I think that helped him grow as a human being. That helped him grow as a player. And I think now, watching him grow, I see him come back sometimes because he's at Pima running track.
Oh, nice.
Coming back, he
What's
comes
his
back.
name?
And his name Daniel Parrish.
Let's give him another shout out. Daniel Parrish. Shout out to Daniel.
I used to always see him do that, man. I always see him do that. And just watching him now is growing, coming back to help the kids. I said he always done that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So seeing him do that now as a grown man, it's like, it worked out, you know what I'm saying? And then kind of helping them with it, like, man, coach, they not listening to me. You know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to do? Keep doing it.
Keep saying it. They're not listening to me either.
That's what I said. I said, what you think of how I feel?
Isn't that the way it usually works, though? The leaders are usually, what I'm seeing is not always the most talented or the most gifted or the smartest necessarily. They're the ones that are willing to exert themselves because, again, back to the team with no lie.
He wanted
together.
to win.
Yeah, we want to win.
Yeah.
And he knew how to get the guys that were pretty good players, how to get them going. And he'll call them out if they slacking. I know you better than that.
Yeah.
And he'll say something to him, and you like, who are you talking to? Because you're the same age as me. I want to hear that from coach, but hearing it from another player, it kind of keeps you, it keeps you accountable. So that's why I like it, and that's one thing we're going to try to push this offseason. It's something I'm trying to do. I'm going to try to get a leader at each position. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to lead the receivers. You're going to lead the DBs. You know what I'm saying? You're going to lead the quarterbacks. I'm going to have one at each position, and I think that's going to help us from within, and that's going to get us over the hump. You know what I'm saying? The furthest we've been is the second round since I've been here, and I think this year is going to be the team that gets us over.
Yeah. Think so.
With that many returning,
That's
my whole defense is coming back. So the whole defense.
That's where it starts, isn't it?
They all not
where the
seniors, but all of them are. All of them are coming back, and I think now they've been together for a good 3 years solid. Yeah. They played well with each other last year, so I think this year is going to be the year.
One more time buying into the system.
Yeah, buying into the system.
We are biased.
I'm an alumni, so I'm not. And you know what? I definitely taught Daniel Parrish while I was still out there, and I think I might have coached him his freshman year.
Okay.
I think that was the last year that I coached.
Because he graduated, what year did he? 2 years ago now?
Yeah, because my last year was 2021.
No, out there,
2020.
2020.
2020 is when
that
I
was my first year.
Yeah.
So, he might have been a freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. This is so long ago, but I know who he is. He's a good kid.
He still comes by and stuff like that. I was able to meet his parents. I remember that. The crazy story is we went to all the kids. He had a birthday party.
Yeah.
We all showed up.
Wow.
And his mom was like, whoa. But she had the food cooked, some good food. So she was like, whoa, ain't this many people came to a party. I said we family. We all came. And I said what Dan Parrish does for us on the team is like, how can you how can you thank him for what he does for the team? And it's like he might not be out on the field making all the plays, even though he played well, but things he did off the field to keep the guys going and all that. Like, how can you repay him? Showing up to his birthday was the least we can do. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if he'll be a coach one day.
Oh, he's definitely gonna be a coach.
Or a business leader in the community.
Definitely he's gonna be something like that. Definitely gonna be a coach though.
Yeah, so this year, the field's good.
Oh, yeah, we're good on the field. We're good on the field.
The field's good.
It looks good. I walk on it every day.
It's down. It's not going to fly away in a tornado again. We're not going to.
Full disclosure, if you guys don't know, but media day, late August of last year, David's showing up.
Yeah.
Gets a phone call, maybe don't come out. You got trapped, got a microburst, probably a tornado based on what.
I think it was.
I was saying, I don't think that was a microburst. There's no way.
No, I think it was a tornado. I saw pictures. And
you don't have busted out bus windows from.
What was crazy was I literally had just left to go get my daughter to come back because I want the show. I was like, we're doing the media day today. We could never get back. It was so much. I was like, what's going on? I literally just left from over there. And it was like, oh, you haven't heard? I got all the videos. The lights were out. I'm like, and then Dave called me. He's like, hey, dude, I don't think we're having a media day. The lights are out. And I was like, it is? I was just there. I had just got the radio station in. I was like, I was literally just there. I got everybody set up in their places. I said, I'm going to run down the street to get my daughter. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Never made it back.
Never made it back.
Never made it back. It was so much traffic.
Yeah, it was a tornado. For all,
it was
I
crazy.
saw pictures. It was definitely.
It was crazy. But the one thing I did learn throughout all that is a lot about our community. Just we got
Talk
the word
about
out
that a
that
little
we need
bit.
help. Just and to this day that sits like it just I always think about it that day because we just got the word out and like we have this group chat where I communicate with the parents and just getting that word out to the parents like, hey, this is what the guy told me we need. And he said we need about 3:00. And at 3:00, I think it was like well over 2,000 people out there. And I'm like, dang, I didn't know. I was like, I don't think I have 2,000 people in the
that week's
communication.
competition,
Where
right?
those people come?
Yeah.
So and then South Point, the school, they came. They coach. He lives in the community, so he gets it. Like, man, them kids not gonna be able to have a senior year and stuff like that. So he was able to get it out to his players. I didn't know how I got to all those people, to be honest with you, because I only told the 200 parents I had in my band app. So when I seen all those people, I was like, whoa, the world travels fast around here. And just seeing everybody wanted to come out and kind of help. And that was big for me because the community is going to take us a lot of places. And for them to come out to help us, I always try to tell the kids to think about that stuff when we out in the community, how they came and helped us. And our job is to give back. So when it's little things like I think the 9/11 day service day, we go out to Gladden Farms and do our service thing, trying to give back to the community because they willing to give back to us. And, if we give them a reason to follow us, they'll follow us, So that's why the community is great over there. They've been good to me. People ask me all the time, how is it over there? I was like, I think they like me because it's been great over there. So
You know what?
I love it.
You know what, Phil? I've been here. He's been here his whole life. I've been here going on 22 years.
Jeez.
The community is unlike any I've ever been in, including where I grew up.
Okay.
This is home. I mean, and I feel like I'm a part of this community, and I feel that love in the community. That's why, kind of back to our previous thing, I think a lot of this thing works because we are community oriented. Mm-hmm. I really believe that.
At the school, we push the family.
Yeah. I really believe that.
It's a big family, big happy family. And me coming from Houston, it wasn't like a small town. It was the big city. It's like it's people all over, you know what I'm saying? And so just coming here and being in that small community and being able to talk to the different families, going to the store, you get to see parents. Like I'm always talking to different people wherever I go. And it's like, this is pretty cool. I like it. So I like being in the community. Then now that my daughter's in the youth sports, I get to meet the other parents in the youth, you know what I'm saying? And it's just been beautiful, So I like it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good place to live.
All right,
that's why people are flying in here.
Yeah. So opening game is at home.
Yep,
Against South Point, huh?
Yep, this year we get South Point at home. Yeah,
August 30th, 7 p.m. Tiger
August
Stadium.
30th.
Be there. It's gonna be a good show. And last year we didn't do what we wanted to do versus South Point, but I think this year we got a lot of kids. They got friends over there, so no, they be talking trash all summer. But they're excited this year. And like I said, this group of guys, we've been at it for a long time, and I think this is the year they put it all together. So they're excited about the game. I think it's gonna bring a lot of crowd because when we was over there last year, people couldn't even get in. There was so many people. So now that we having it at our place, I think it's going to be even better. More people. So I'm excited about it.
What time should I show up? Like 5 to get in there?
Yeah, maybe 5.
You know what? I'm
man.
thinking maybe a press pass or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come out there with a camera for sure.
I'll take good care of y'all.
I'll come out. Hey, I'll come out there with a camera and shoot some video.
I got special seating for you guys.
Oh,
Okay.
great. That's awesome.
You too, Scott, back there.
Save it. I'll be there August 30th. Put it on the calendar.
Come out there. Y'all like it, man. And we do a lot of unique things there at our stadium. We got the fireworks, when you score.
You blocking the day off?
I am.
It's just a lot of good things that we do as a program there to try to, make you, when you come to the game, you not just feel like you're coming to watch a football game. It's the whole atmosphere. Like, dang, it's a lot of people here. It's, it reminds me of like back home in Texas, like all the games were just super crowded. So like the last few years since we've been, winning and doing our thing, the fans has been coming out and they just make the game just so much more fun. You know what I'm saying? Them yelling. Like when we had to come back 2 years ago versus Sunnyside, Like nobody left the game early because we was getting blown out the whole game. And they all just stayed and they all witnessed the comeback. You know what I'm saying? So like just them standing there rocking with us the whole, like all the way through it has just been
That
great.
was awesome.
And then us losing last year, just still seeing the fans on the road coming to our game because they knew we was eventually going to put it together and they just stayed. So that's why I said if we give the community something to follow, I think they'll follow us.
Yeah.
Like, we're doing it the right way and it's showing every week. So
Football, high school football, even back when I played there back in the early 2000s, it's part of the energy of the community, right? Like it really dictates the morale of things, and if you got these winning programs, and I noticed at Marana, there's a lot of programs winning, you know what I mean? It was, back when I went there, unfortunately, my freshman year and stuff like that, we weren't good. Like it took till the senior year to get into playoffs and all that stuff. But other programs weren't doing well either. But now I see this like constant energy pump from all these programs, just winning and winning and winning. The girls' flag football just dominating things.
I think it's because it's the first sport.
Yeah,
it's the first sport of the year.
Yeah,
and we're like the bigger sport of that year. You know what I'm saying? Football, even though it don't take away from the other sports, I just think we have the most kids, so it brings a lot of more attention to us. So I don't want to be biased, but I think when the football team, I've seen it happen in my high school. That's why when the football team has success early, it does.
There's no question.
Sets a tone. There's no question. It does. It sets the tone for the whole school. Because I believe, like, my kids just don't stay in football the whole year. They go to those other sports. Right. They seen how to win. They seen what it takes. You know what I'm saying? To play that long, drawn out season. They're gonna take that into the next sport. You know what I'm saying? So now that sport then picked up because of those kids that learn how to, continue to the end. The long, like I said, the long season, continue to fight, go through different injuries if they had injuries that year. You know what I'm saying? How to take care of their body to get through a long season. That now goes into the wrestling that's next, or the basketball.
Right. Or the track.
You know what I'm saying? I think it goes to all the other sports because of how we start. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if we start slow, the other sports tend to start slow. I don't know.
There's a pride factor for the you mentioned the numbers because you got 50
I got big numbers,
plus kids. So parents, grandparents, siblings, etc. And then the games, you're only playing 10, 12, 13 max, or a basketball team, you might get well in the 30s.
Yeah, you get a lot of tournaments and all that.
So there's more of a premium put on each football game. How many home games you playing?
5 and 5. You get 5 home, 5 away.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So
there's a bigger premium on each game as opposed to another sport.
Yeah.
Hey, how does the community help out the program? Outside of going to the games, is there somewhere where they can donate or purchase banners for the business purchase banners?
So we are starting to get out our banner information.
Okay.
So if you reach out to Marana Football Boosters, at gmail.com, they can get you kind of situated with that. But yes, we got the donation link on our websites, maranafootball.com, and also on all our social media platforms, Marana FB, football, Marana Football. So that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those things. The links is in the bio. You can always donate whenever you want, or you can reach out to me. I'm always accepting donations for the team. I'm always looking for ways to help the boys, and I always told them, like, whatever y'all want, I'm gonna try to go get it for y'all. The only thing I ask: go to school, get your grades, show up to practice, and practice hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask a lot from them. Just go to school, get your grades. And then we have practice hard, give me everything you got. The rest of that stuff will take care of itself. Like the coaches and I, the Booster Club, that's our job. We'll do that part for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get y'all because they want everything, to tell you the truth. But my job is to try to help them get everything they need because the other schools have it. That's what they always say. And I believe if the other schools have it, we should have it too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We all public schools. Why do they got something we don't? You know what I'm saying? I think like the kids, when they say that, I'm like, you're right. We should have those flickering lights. You're right about that. Yeah. So I always try to find ways, to try to help the boys, and if they get to acting crazy, Coach, can we get fans in our helmet? Nah, look, we don't need stuff like that. Yeah. We don't need stuff like that. Like, come on, dude. Like
that's part of a little heat, man. You gotta learn from that.
We can get the fans in our helmets for next year? No, we cannot get that.
That's not happening.
But like me, I always think about the entire team. Like I know sometimes like my seniors, man, coach, just get us some senior stuff, and I do try to take care of them, but I never want to forget about the team. Right. You know what I'm saying? I always try to put that in perspective for them because we're going to need one of those guys, one of those sophomores, one of those juniors, one of those freshmen. They're going to help us win a lot of ball games. I can't just not think about them. You know what I'm saying? So anything that I'm doing, I know some people like, hey, man, I give you a varsity this, I give you a varsity that. Well, what about my freshman JV? I got to take care of them too. I never want to ever forget about them. So when I do tell people how many kids you got, I got 160. All of them going to get taken care of. My managers, everybody's going to get taken care of. It's not just going to be the varsity team. And it is some perks that the varsity players get that the younger guys don't. You got to earn your stripes. Right. But for the most part, we all going to get it. We're one team, you know what I'm saying? And the one thing I always preach there is family. You know what I'm saying? It's when you're doing it for your family, man, it's just a different feeling over there, you know what I'm saying? So we do go win that state championship. That's going to resonate in the community for so long because we all did it together. Right. It wasn't just the football team. It was the parent that brought us the breakfast sandwiches in the morning. Right. It was the parents that volunteered to come help us serve the kids lunch before they game. We all played a part into this, you see what I'm saying? And that's the one thing I'm trying to push there because it's been helping us, you know what I'm saying? We're one big family, so you know, we accept people in, we kick some people out, just how it works. Some people don't want to be part of it no more. And that's part of it, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I think a lot of kids want to be a part of it. You know, they see the fun we have and they see all the things that we're doing and kids are being successful. One of my biggest thing is I know we win games and we talk all this, but a lot of those seniors that I have are graduating high school. You know what I'm saying? Just looking around, it's a lot of kids that just don't graduate. And watching those kids being able to play football for 4 years and then graduate high school is big to me because I see how hard, with all the distractions in the world, it can get hard to graduate high school. You know what I'm saying? So much things come up. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm a kid living with my grandma. Now I'm not living with my mom. I ain't thinking about school no more. Right. So being able to, you know, keep them in football, keep their head on straight, and then get them to walk across the stage, that's a big thing. That's like my team goal every year, to see all these seniors walk across that stage and go live life now. You know what I'm saying? Because high school is only so much of a part of your life. But some people don't ever complete it. You know what I'm saying? Because it could become a big thing in your life if you make it, but it's only a small piece of your life. And I think it's important for those kids to graduate high school to get their career or whatever they're trying to do started. So even if they don't, like I heard Deion Sanders say, school doesn't have to be your number one priority, but it has to be a priority. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a priority because you need your education. Right. You know what I'm saying? So,
and you're teaching kids to learn because learning should never stop. Schooling will at some point. You'll run out of the runway, but continue to learn something new. Even at my old age, I'm still learning. I learn something new every day, sometimes by accident. But
me too. I be working on things. I be like, I didn't even know I could do that. That's pretty cool. Or it comes out good. And then my fiance be like, you did that? I was like, I did. And I can't even repeat it to how I did it, but I did do it. So I'm, like I said, every day I'm learning. You know, I'm learning the kids. I'm learning the different phases they go through. You know what I'm saying? Like throughout the year, you have some couple of months where they just real chill. You have some where they're just hyper. So I'm learning the kids every day, and then I'm learning I got one of my kids. He's real good. He don't talk a lot, and I be trying to, hey, dude, if you tell them to do this, I promise they'll listen. But that's just not him. You know what I'm saying? He'll just show up and do the work. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I need you to say something because I think they will follow you, but you're not saying anything. And I think it's intimidating to the younger kids because they see, his name Desmond Roebuck, they see how successful he's been, but a lot of them is afraid to ask him like, hey, what are you doing to be like that? And I'd be like, go ask him. They'd be like, oh, heck no. So I always tell him, say something to them like, hey, y'all, I'm going to catch some extra balls. You want to go? So you probably have 20 kids follow behind you, but say something to him. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he's learning still too as he's growing. Like, I don't have to be as vocal like Coach want me to, but I can say little things here and there. Like, hey, I'm standing after practice catching balls. I seen him do that. Like five people stayed to catch balls. Like, if he's doing it, why not? He's like one of my good players. Why am I not? I look at it. Why are you not doing it? If our good players stand behind to catch those balls, why
everybody needs to be standing to catch balls. Come on. Tell your mom, tell your dad. I'll be home later.
And I know. I get it from the parents. Coach, you said 8 o'clock is 8:30. That was the kids.
I was done.
I was done with them at 8. So.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate you being on our program so much. We'll make sure we get you back in here soon.
Well, let's throw this out there so we can get a commitment. We want to do a weekly Coach's Weekly Corner.
Oh, definitely. I spoke with a few of my coaches about it, and they up to it too.
Yeah, and you guys could just call in. And, you could do it from the school, or you can come in. You're welcome either way.
Either way.
So
maybe
I'm trying to get a few days off, so
maybe a hybrid of both.
Yeah.
Some in studio, some maybe you're.
We'll do it for the season and just get some updates. Talk about the game. You know, you'll be in the hot seat a little bit sometimes. Be in the cold
seat. Talk about some X and O's.
I love doing it because, like I said, any opportunity I get to talk about the program, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when you asked to come up here, Oh, I took the day off. I took the whole day off.
You know what
Oh,
he told
my
me?
man.
You know what he told me
Yeah.
one time? I just live right up the street.
I know. We're pretty much neighbors. So
I love doing it, man. It's just to give me another opportunity to talk about the boys, to talk about the program and the things that we're doing there. I got a camp actually coming up, a youth camp.
Talk about it.
On May 2nd and 3rd.
Okay.
You know, the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. I usually have a camp every year. We actually having girls this year, so girls and boys.
Wow,
You know what I'm
nice.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's fun. We usually get
Second and third?
Yep. Yeah. So it's Thursday, Friday. We usually get a lot of kids out. I think last year was the most we ever had since we've been there. I think we had almost like 60 kids last year, or maybe 55. But we had a big number last year, and the kids have fun.
Was
I
that
get
like
them shirts and stuff like that?
Right after school, 4 to
it's,
6? Or
so the
4 to 8?
first day on Thursday we'll go from 6 to 7:30, and then Friday I know a lot of kids get out.
Yeah.
See, learning,
Yeah.
learning,
Yeah,
the community.
learning
so
the community.
on Fridays we'll go, and I try to give the parents some time to get off work. So I always try to think about the parents. Like I know they work. You know what I'm saying? How can I get my kid there even though he wants to go? So I think on Friday we'll go from 5 to 7 because we usually have like a 7-on-7 tournament. They all want to play 7-on-7.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
you know, we'll usually do that. I have my kids as the coaches. And they'll split up the teams.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then a lot of the kids, man, coach, I told them to do this and do that. I'm like, yeah, the same thing I been trying to tell you. Oh, now it's bothering you. Like, man, I want another team. I said, what if I said that? I want another team because y'all ain't doing what I asked. So it's good for them too to be in there to try to learn how we feel on our side of it. So it's a good
That's
thing.
great.
And the boys have a good time. The kids have a real good time. And I give them a shirt with the by any means on the back so they know anything they want to do, you know. So I like it.
Here we go. All right, gents. We're going to shut this thing down. We've hit 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
We've been going for an hour and a half. And everybody watching and listening, we appreciate you so much. Make sure you show up August 30th
Yes.
at 7 p.m. to watch the Marana Tigers at home.
Better
take
get there
on the
about
South Point
6:30.
Lancers, right? Is that what they are?
Think so.
Right? I think so. South Point. All right? Just show
It
up.
is the Lancers.
We'll see you out there. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.